So if you're following in the footsteps of Jesus, you are going to be prepared to offer your own life, whatever it takes, because of the love you have for those that God is calling you to minister to. And you'll do it without thinking. You'll do it by nature because Jesus is in you. Sometimes we do things spontaneously. We don't have to sit and think. I know when I was in New Guinea, I'm a fanatical gardener, you know, and I had a 5-acre plot around my house in New Guinea. I had an acre of each of the big tropical fruits. I had an acre of pineapples, an acre of mangoes, an acre of bananas, an acre of papayas. It's just incredible to go out and have this garden. But on Sundays I'd go out and I'd clean the garden with my sons helping me. And I had a big pit, a deep pit. It was like 8 feet deep on one end and about 4 feet on the other. And we would throw all the garden refuse into this pit. And of course I'd make humus out of it so I could put it back on the garden. And one day I decided to burn it all up because it was getting too full. So I set fire. It was one of the few times that I set fire to something without burning something down, you know. It was way out in the middle of my garden, so it was very safe to set fire to it. And it's burning away, and there's flames and smoke everywhere. And my 2 sons, my daughter was a little small at this point, but my 2 boys were out there helping me in the garden, and I heard this scream. And you know, as a parent, you know instinctively what's happened, don't you?
Yeah.
And my younger son, who also became a fanatical gardener, he was running his own nursery at the age of 7, selling plants to everybody in the community. And I heard him scream, my younger son Sam, I heard him scream. And I just knew that he had fallen over the edge into that pit. I knew it. There was nothing else there that could cause him to scream like that. So I dropped everything and I ran. I ran. And I didn't even think. You know what I did, don't you? I leapt into that pit. I thought about it later. I'm glad I didn't stop and think about this. I may not have done it. I just leapt into that pit. And I could hear his screams, and I located him and picked him up, and I leapt out the other end of the pit. Oh yes, I was singed all over, but not seriously burned. But I look back on that experience and I say to myself, you know, why did I not hesitate? Why did I just run and jump into that pit? And I said to myself, because that's the love I had for my boy. You know? There was no regard for my own well-being, but this is my son. So whatever it took, I'm going to do it. And that's exactly what Jesus is teaching us in ministry. Without regard to himself, even to taking off his own garments, putting aside his divinity, putting on the robe of a servant. He humbled himself and served